I'll have to say the RUGER LCP II is a huge, huge win for the LCP series of handguns. Ruger listened finally. Well, they listened pretty well to the customer, mostly. And they made some really, really good changes to the LCP series of pistols. I don't know if the LCP is the best selling pocket gun in the firearm industry. I'm not sure, but I can tell you when I had the gun store, I sold a ton of these guns. And when I would handle them, the first generation LCPs, they weren't very ergonomic and they weren't very comfortable. Obviously, they're meant to be a concealed carry gun and a pocket gun at that. Now, what I really like about this gun is not only the size of it, it's easy to conceal, it's comfortable to conceal, and that makes any person more likely to bring this firearm with you when you go somewhere because it's easier to conceal. But for such of a small gun, the accuracy is absolutely phenomenal because they changed the grip on this gun. It's a little bit wider so you can get your hands around the gun finally, and it's more ergonomic. You have slide serrations up front now, as well as a more aggressive cuts in the slide also. The trigger is substantially better than the first generation LCP, and it's still hammer fired action, of course, but it's more of a pre-cocked design. So your trigger is, you have a little bit of take up, but it's a smooth break on that, and the reset is very short. A lot of people are going to shoot to reset, of course, but the trigger on this gun is 100% better than the first generation LCP. Good job, Ruger. For a small gun, this gun is a blast to shoot. It's very, very fun. And in my first episode, over on Facebook and gun-project.com, that's our blog, we were just shooting cans with this thing. Just kind of having fun, transition drills, just for fun. And it was a lot of fun to shoot. Why not? And another thing I like about this gun too is Ruger features a last round bullet hold open. Of course, that's in the magazine, of course, but still, that's a really, really nice feature. The first generation LCPs did not have that. And the sights on the LCP2, again, 100% better than on the first LCP. Basically, the first LCP didn't have any sights, honestly. So this gives you more availability of course, your sight radius to see your sights and to shoot a little bit longer distances. This gun still, don't get me wrong, is still basically a 5-foot, 10-foot gun. Now you can stretch it out to 25 yards if you want to. Obviously, that's not going to be really any sort of an engagement distance for a concealed carry holder, honestly. So that would be more of a fun. Do you want to train at that distance? Up to you. Knock yourself out if you want to do that. But this gun, all the video that I'm showing you right now, is mostly done at 5 foot, at 5 feet, or 5 yards up to 10. Just for fun, I did stretch this gun out to 50 and 100 yards. Just set that rubber dummy, just kind of throwing lead downfield to see the reliability of the gun, to see how it functioned. Did I hit that rubber dummy at 100 yards? Yeah, twice, but it took me like 50 rounds to do so. So, more for fun than anything. So that's going to take me to the next point of the dislikes on this gun. The gun isn't 100% reliable all of the time. And with 3 different types of ammo, HPR, Winchester, and basically it's RPT, or it's freedom munitions, we had some hang-ups. It seems like 1 out of 50 rounds, well, more like 1 out of 100 rounds, the shell casing gets get stuck in the chamber. Don't know why that is. Maybe I just need to shoot this more, but that's my biggest complaint with this gun, is it's not 100% reliable all of the time. The sights too is my second dislike. Even though they are upgraded and they're in the race sights off the slide, they're blacked out sights. So what you're gonna have to do is take some nail polish, paint. If you want to paint that front sight, if you like the sights the way they are, it's up to you. The cost on the gun, the MSRP, suggested MSRP on this gun is about $349. Street price is way under that. I think it's $280. I think I paid $280 for this gun. So price point's great on this gun. You're not gonna beat it, especially for a carry gun. Of course, your capacity on this gun is 6+1, and your barrel material basically is alloy steel, and your slide, of course, is alloy steel too. So, kind of going into the next point about this gun, I see a lot of people buy this gun for their wives and girlfriends or daughters or whatever, and this might be, at least they have something, but this gun it's small, and I think that there's sometimes a little bit better options out there, and that's why I encourage a lot of people to try to rent guns before you buy them, so you can shoot them. Take the 43 for instance. I don't have a 43 anymore. I traded that off, but it's small enough to where you can still conceal it, more manageable to shoot, better sights, and honestly, it's more reliable than the LCP II. I'm not saying that pocket guns have a place in the carry world and even law enforcement world, absolutely. So you just have to remember that this gun is going to be a little bit harder to shoot if it's your first time shooting or first time gun owner. It's going to be a little bit harder to shoot and manipulate because it is so small. You're going to have a little bit more felt recoil, which brings me to the third point of the 380 ACP cartridge is more expensive to train with than the 9mm. So keep that in mind. I encourage people to shoot once a month or twice a month, or especially if you're concealed carrying. You need to be on that range at least once a month, because firearms and shooting is kind of like an art form in itself. You have to practice. Practice makes perfect, so make sure you're practicing. And if you have a range where you can draw from a holster, I definitely encourage you to do that too, because in a real life scenario, obviously you're not going to be standing there still and throwing lead down range. It's just what it is. So, but in comparison, this gun in comparison to, I'm going to kind of give you guys a spoiler alert right now to the Rock Island. I need to send this back. This is their Mini 1911. Browning is doing this too. See, this gun basically just fell apart. If you guys follow me on Facebook, you know what happened with this gun, but this gun fell apart. So in terms of the reliability category, the LCP II is going to win over this gun all day long, and honestly, the LCP II is way easier to conceal. So overall though, the LCP II it's a fantastic gun. It's, besides those points I touched on about not being 100% reliable all the time, I think once you find, of course, the ammo that's reliable, stick with the ammo, bulk buy that stuff, and just make sure you're practicing with it. But for all the updates from the LCP I, this is a home run by Ruger, and they listen to the customer, and that's awesome. I like when gun companies listen to people, make the changes, make the product better, and that's what it's all about. So big thumbs up on this gun from Ruger. If you guys have the first one, trade that off, get the second LCP II, because you're going to like it much, much better. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, as well as the gun-project.com. That's our blog. So I will see you next time.